Hundreds applied, but just 15 were chosen to compete in Craftmaster, the search for Ireland's top craft apprentice. Each week, our apprentices will create unique pieces in the fields of wood, ceramics, glass, metal and textiles. And each week, one lucky winner will go forward to our grand final, where our judges include Louise Kennedy and Paul Costello. And the prize? A stand at Showcase, Ireland's international craft fair. But to get there, they'll need to impress our resident judges, Derek McGarry from the National College of Art and Design and Brian McGee from the Crafts Council of Ireland.
A stand on Showcase is a launchpad for an emerging talent. We bring buyers from 17 countries, 5,500 of them come, and they're waiting to see what Ireland has got to offer. There is 125 million euros of business done at Showcase. It's a really big deal.
This week it's ceramics and we're with Ireland's top-selling potter, Colm de Rees. Colm de Rees has been practicing pottery for 15 years. He runs his own busy studio, producing large volumes of quality pieces for the international market. Ceramics in Ireland is big business and is a major contributor to the €500 million national craft sector. As this week's mentor, Colm has high hopes for his 3 apprentices.
Well, I would hope that the apprentices will be passionate, they'll be focused, and they'll love what they do. And if they have those 3 ingredients, whatever they make will be beautiful.
The apprentices' work will be judged on design, craftsmanship and marketability by our resident experts, Brian McGee and Derek McGarry, who are joined this week by ceramics artist and lecturer in NCAD, Lisa Young.
My name's Ian Carty, I'm from Sligo, and I love working with clay because it allows me to express my creative side.
Ian Carty has trained as a potter and is the most experienced contestant this week. He knows that winning could help advance his career.
It would open up a lot of doors that are closed to me at the moment.
Self-taught artist Deirdre Beattie is a mum of 3 from Dublin who's enjoyed a lifelong interest in craft.
It started with doodling, then I moved on to wood, but when I discovered ceramic, that's when it really took off for me. It's an ideal opportunity for me to further my craft, so I'm really looking forward to that.
Caoimhe Woods from Castleblaney in County Monaghan has just completed her degree at NCAD, where she specialised in ceramics. Caoimhe is the youngest of our apprentices and the Craftmaster competition is her biggest challenge to date.
I have zilch experience in comparison, so I hope my work is good enough to be at the standard that they are.
For the next 7 days, this studio in North Dublin will be the apprentices' home.
Hi guys, I'm Colm de Rees. Welcome to my workshop. Come on in, we'll have a quick look around.
The best way for Colm to assess the skill level of his apprentices is for each of them to copy his technique at the potter's wheel. Throwing a well-balanced bowl is a core skill in ceramics, and it's time for a demonstration from the master.
So, the first position is to get the piece of clay centred, to make sure that all the clay molecules are going in the same circular motion like that, so it keeps it even for you. Next.
It all happened so quickly as well. He did it in seconds. It was done, and a bit apprehensive about starting it myself.
I've always been very artistic, and I love to express myself through ceramics, and it's the perfect medium for me.
I'm only a beginner in the world of pottery. I've been doing it for years, but I'm only really now taking it seriously, putting it out onto that level. So we'll see.
Caoimhe's making slow progress. Could this be down to her lack of experience?
I tried to sit at one last year and really hurt my hand, and I stopped, and that was it. That's all I've ever done on the wheel. Oh my God.
Yeah, it was quite good though.
Yours looks really good.
Ian made a lovely bowl, so I would be expecting Ian to be doing more sophisticated shapes for the rest of the week.
I can't believe I made something.
Caoimhe did an amazing job. I'm really excited to see what she's going to do in an area where she's worked before.
Terrible. I hit an air bubble and then the thing just went out of control.
That can happen.
There's a big concern for me. I want to see that pot coming off the wheel. I want to see her moving forward in her project.
Next morning, and the apprentices explain their big ideas to Colm. We start with Caoimhe and her designs for a romantic range of engagement and wedding gifts.
That's like a love heart almost.
That was kind of what I was referencing, stylized kind of love heart form.
Well, I'm really excited about Quiva's piece. I think it's going to be beautiful and striking. I think that we'll be able to bring it from the pedestal gallery-oriented style to a more production-oriented piece that might be available for maybe the larger chain stores if it was necessary. It's breathtaking and it's so organic and individual.
It's exciting when you start something in ceramics to see it through to the end. There's so many processes that it has to go through. I can't wait to get started.
Ian's experience shows as he outlines his ambitious concept.
It's kind of a Roman kind of technique that dates back over several thousand years. I feel that there are techniques that have been lost over periods of time and that people would really appreciate seeing them reinvented again in the modern contemporary manner. The results themselves are unique.
Ian is planning to fuse horsehair onto the outside of his Roman-style pots.
It's a great way too of commemorating horses as well, like, because there's a lot of horse lovers in Ireland. I'm sure that they would be very interested in it.
That will appeal not only to the equestrian market, but also to maybe the overseas market, that will have a little piece of Ireland and a little piece of an Irish horse in their homes forever. Okay?
It might be too ambitious.
As the least experienced apprentice, Deirdre is planning to produce the most complex of the three products. She wants to make a 3-tiered water feature based on her own Celtic design.
And then what I would like to do is throw a plinth that's sturdy on the bottom and sturdy on the top in order to hold the second bowl, and then incorporate a pump action so that the water comes up and flows over the edges and down.
I've never ever built a water fountain before. As we go, it's going to be very much a learning curve for both of us. And we've only really got one shot. So there's a big risk factor for Deirdre in taking on this project. For me at the moment, I'm just seeing 3 guys who are really eager to produce something unique, individual, beautiful, and that want to win this competition.
So the apprentices get started on their projects and, as expected, Ian is throwing excellent pots.
Ian, they look fantastic. They're beautifully thrown. He's got a really nice line. He's keeping that ancient feeling that he discussed with me earlier that he wanted in his work.
I like the kind of Roman old shapes. And
there's the ancient feel coming through in them for sure, yeah.
I don't find it difficult to be creative under pressure. In this industry, if you're doing big orders, you need to be able to cope with the pressure as well as the creativity. So you have to combine the two of them.
When is our crescendo from a throwing point of view?
I think I'll need another day on the wheel for sure.
Okay, brilliant.
Yeah, because I'm so out of practice on the wheel. If I succeed in getting the water falling down over the edges of a Celtic animal piece, I think it'll just look so rich. You know, I think it's well worth trying.
When I put them together, they need to be like a love heart shape.
Quiva is ploughing into it really. She's got her forms made, I think maybe even 2 of them to date she's got made.
I am confident in the form. I'm happy with the form. I wouldn't do it unless I was happy with it.
But happiness is in short supply for Deirdre, who can't get to grips with the wheel. She's hoping to make better progress constructing her base pot by hand using machine-made clay coils.
See, this is my first time in a pottery studio. I had no idea that a thing like that coil making machine even existed. I love working with coil and hand building and all that sort of stuff, but anything I've ever done, I've done it at home in my kitchen, and I've had to put in so many man hours into it. So if I had access to perfectly formed coils, I could build up a pot as well and see how that works versus the...
I think it's a brilliant idea. We're kind of in the process now of changing strategy. It's really knife edge kind of stuff because we haven't even started working on the pumps or the pipe work yet.
Make sure it's going to go on properly.
No?
Well, I joined the 2 halves together today. I kind of refined their sort of dome shapes, I guess they look like, and then I refined them and they dried a little bit, which allowed me to then attach the 2 pieces. So I have like prototype A done. It's the small version of like my finished piece. Yeah, I wanted to try it out. I wanted to make sure I had the angles cut and that they would fit on and it would look like a proper love heart shape. If I could just make that twice the size, I'd be delighted. So that's the next step, is to make it in the proper size. It's going to be finished.
Deirdre, meanwhile, is working to make her base bowl by hand. Will this technique work for her?
My challenge is big as it is. A bowl, another bowl, a plinth, getting that water feature working. That was a big enough challenge without thinking of throwing on the wheel. Now, I knew there was a time constraint, but I also knew that with that machine, I could move it fast because I wouldn't have the labour part of rolling out the individual coils. It was all done for me. And that's where really, at the end of the day, that's where I'm most comfortable anyway. Hand building.
It's going quite good now. I'm under a bit of pressure, like, you know, at the moment, so trying to get everything out and get it dry for tomorrow so that I can get testing.
1, 2, 3.
Colum's industrial-sized kiln is too big to fire Ian's horsehair pots, so Ian's going to build his own mini kiln. But for this to work, our apprentice needs to get the right kind of fuel.
Do you deliver gas? I'm looking to get a small bottle of propane gas delivered. Took about 5 phone calls, but eventually I got a fella that'll deliver it, so fingers crossed he'll come.
Colm is impressed by Deirdre's work with her machine-made coils.
I'm much happier now, much happier that I've made this decision to go with the hand building. Yeah, it's working out for me. It's great. I'm really happy with it.
The apprentices seem to be doing well, but after the break, I pay a surprise visit to see how they're really getting on.
Busy at your work, guys?
In just 3 days' time, our Craftmaster apprentices will face the judges. But right now, I'm heading to the studio of ceramics mentor Colm de Rees to see how they're getting on. They'll be judged on design, craftsmanship and marketability, and I'm hoping to see all 3 today.
So this is your judging piece?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Are you on target schedule?
Yeah, I think so. About halfway.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how aware have you been of the judges' criteria?
Well, I was for the design element of it, like, so I hope it's on target. I hope it meets the criteria, fills the brief.
And I wrap the tin foil around it. And what the tin foil does, it holds everything in place. And because there's carbon in the hair and the feathers and all the other different pieces, it actually fuses. It fuses the carbon onto the pieces, like, and it leaves for a very interesting finish.
You've no experience of this process?
I have no experience in it, but I've been studying it the past 2 years.
Hang on a second now. You've no experience in it?
No experience.
What if it doesn't work?
I'm going to make it work.
Blah.
Well, thanks.
Hi.
Hi, Sonia.
How's it going?
Good.
So, in terms of the marketability then, where would you see this being sold?
Okay, well, I've checked out shops like Kilkenny Design. They always have new and innovative products. Maybe somewhere like that, yeah. It's a unique piece. So I think the marketability, do you know, there's no one group that I would close off to this appealing to.
With judging on their minds, the apprentices get back to work. But before long, Deirdre needs assistance from Colm.
I am psyched.
The pot was standing like that. We had to flip it to see how the pattern turned out at the back.
I'm ready for you if anything happens.
Woo! Sometimes when I've done that before, the pattern has been squashed up against the edge. Okay, it's turned out really nice.
That's beautiful. I love that.
I'm really happy. It's come out even better than I've ever turned them out before. See, I'll just clean up those sort of pieces. Tomorrow is D-Day as regards the pump, the blessed pump. But I can't test it on my ceramic bowls that I've made until the very last moment because they're not waterproof until they're glazed. In the meantime, tomorrow I'm going to test the pump in a sink, just watching that the mechanism works, that we've got the right height. I'm just keeping my fingers crossed that it works out.
So far, things are coming together for Quiva.
Oh, very nice. Dunno. Excellent.
Yeah. I have made the bigger piece, twice the size of the little prototype. I'll roll out another slab so it's soft and then it kind of just fits in like that one. I just want to see it bone dry because there is always a danger that it will crack while it's drying. So I just kind of apprehensive about that. But once I